The elections are behind us, Ruth Bader Ginsburg takes a fall, Tucker Carlson is harassed, and Jim Acosta is kicked out of the White House. Coming up on Today with 2 Cents. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Today with 2 Cents, wrapping up your weekly news. The 2008 midterm elections have passed, with the Democratic Party making gains in the House, but the Republicans holding the majority in the Senate. What does this mean for America? Well, as I said earlier this week, I can guarantee two things. Spending will increase, and the government will increase the scope of its regulatory authority. However, perhaps the most entertaining story coming out of the election results is the news that Democratic darling Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez can't afford an apartment in Washington, D.C. Not yet, at least.
Elected New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she can't afford to move to Washington. Yeah, she will need to relocate to do her job, obviously, come January, but she says she can't make a deposit on an apartment in D.C. until she gets her first paycheck. Members of Congress earn a solid $174,000 a year, but that salary won't kick in until she's actually sworn in. Right now, she's technically unemployed because she quit her job as a bartender to campaign full-time.
Now, I'm sure some wealthy liberal donor will probably swoop in and buy her a luxury penthouse upon hearing this news, which they are free to do. I am a capitalist, after all, and I have no problem with people spending their own money to help others if they wish. However, what Miss Ocamio's predicament ought to communicate to everyone is the cold hard reality that nothing in life comes free. Someone pays. Even her precious government can't legislate a place to live into existence. They can only steal the money and resources necessary to build one. This woman, who is being touted as the future of the Democratic Party, has already shown multiple times that she has no idea how she's going to pay for her lavish $40 trillion increases in spending that she's proposed. But now we know she can't even plan her own finances well enough to pay for an apartment in the very place she's planning to live? Is this someone you want making your financial decisions? And on a national scale at that.
What do you want?
Financial advice?
Financial advice? How the hell did you know I'm an accountant?
Hello, Max Weinstein?
I should preface this next segment by saying that I don't wish illness or injury on anyone, even liberal idiots. But I've got to admit, I laughed pretty hard when I heard the news that liberal Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg cracked 3 ribs after taking a fall in her office this week.
She's the rock star of Supreme Court Justices, 85-year-old RBG. Liberal icon, star of stage, screen, and opera. Not at a ceremony today for Justice Brett Kavanaugh after falling in her office yesterday. Feeling discomfort at home overnight and hospitalized, tests showing she broke 3 ribs on her left side, is staying for observation. Ginsburg has surmounted past health scares. Surgery for colon cancer, pancreatic cancer, 2 broken ribs, a heart procedure, all without missing a day of work at the court in 25 years.
Ginsburg, who is well known for her loose interpretations of the Constitution in order to further the progressive agenda, is 85 years old, and known to fall asleep during cases. Yet she is determined not to retire lest Donald Trump be allowed to nominate another justice. All political concerns aside, for goodness sake, Justice Ginsburg, retire. I'll save my criticism of your ridiculous views and just say that a woman your age should be sipping iced tea on a comfortable sofa while cracking jokes about the messed up youth of our day. If you want to work until you die in hopes that President Trump will be denied another nomination, so be it. But based on your health history and your now cracked ribs, you give the phrase "work yourself to death" a whole new meaning.
Look, Carter, I'll make a deal with you. You give me just 1 day to show you how great retired life can be for an old fella, and I'll let you honk the horn 1 time.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'm pretending there's traffic.
This Monday, I wrote an article about Tucker Carlson and his erroneous views on what the government should do to stifle innovation. But while I'm not terribly fond of Carlson, that doesn't excuse the horrific action that protesters took this week, standing outside his house and threatening his wife and children.
We know where you sleep at night.
Disgusting. But then again, who's surprised? These kinds of stories have just been piling up lately, and it's definitely not helping that progressive figureheads like Maxine Waters and Hillary Clinton have outright called for incivility against their political opponents. Now, I don't want to fault everyone on the political left for the actions of a particular group of protesters, but I do notice that this happens far more on the left than on the right. There was nothing in the news this week about conservative voters rioting after Democrats regained control of the House of Representatives. Compare that with the results of the 2016 election. Quite the difference, don't you think? I wonder why.
Hey, what's going on? Someone wrote weird on the transgender bathroom and the school president didn't overreact, so we want him fired.
Seems reasonable.
Exactly!
Oh, I see news cameras. I'm gonna yell, "Viva la stool," like a young white drunkard.
And in by far the most shared news story of the week, CNN reporter Jim Acosta has been banned from the White House after hassling President Trump, taking far more time for questions than he was allowed, and putting his hand on a White House aide who tried to take his microphone.
These were people, this was an actual, it happened a few days ago. And
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not
an
invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President.
That's enough.
There seems to be a running theme amongst commentators who have had the privilege of meeting Jim Acosta, that Jim Acosta is quite the narcissistic megalomaniac. And this clip more or less confirms it. Well, I don't think it's really appropriate to say he assaulted the White House aide by trying to keep his microphone. He was in fact continuing to speak after the president told him to sit down. And hey, it's the president's house. You come into my house and I tell you to shut up, you better shut up. By the way, anyone else notice how attractive the White House aide was?
The president has just confirmed a devastating surprise attack by the Japanese at Pearl Harbor. Much of our naval fleet has been destroyed, and the death toll is believed to be in the thousands.
He's adorable!
And the moment you've all been waiting for, time to unveil the weekly hottie. Drumroll, please. This week's weekly hottie is Kayla Ann of the YouTube channel Purple Stars 02. Kayla's channel is unique, and not strictly a clothing or a fitness channel like most of the featured hotties here, but there's no denying that she's looking plenty sexy in her recent fall clothing haul.
Hey everyone, it's Kayla and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a Taliber try-on clothing haul. You can see I am wearing this high-neck sleeveless tank top in the color white, and I honestly think this is just extremely flattering and it can be paired with so many things. I am in love with this and I'm going to be getting so much use out of it. I can already feel it. Now, say it's one of those chilly fall mornings, then I have just the thing for you, girl. You can pair the top with a nice lightweight jacket like this one. The olive green color is super on trend right now for fall, and this would be ideal for those chilly mornings where you need a jacket, but you still want to look put together and cute. And guys, for my last outfit, I have to say I saved one of the best for last, so I am obsessed with this. As you can see, it's this pink and white striped t-shirt. It's super casual, yet super fun, and I love the little crisscross detailing on the sleeve. It's just something fun. It's super flattering, and I absolutely love this outfit. It's girly, it's fun, it's comfortable, and it gets a 10 from me.
And that's it for this week. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, I'd like to take a moment to let you know about the new t-shirt / hoodie that I've added to my Teespring store in preparation for the upcoming holiday season. It will be available until December 31st, so don't miss out. And as always, be sure to follow me on Twitter and other social media, check out my blog, leave a review on iTunes, and if you're able, consider supporting the channel on Patreon. And that is my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth.